Howdy YouTube. I don't really have a project video for this week as far as one that I just film and explain a build on, but I do have a little bit of footage from 3 different projects I've done recently. So I thought I'd just make a little video here, jamming them all together, kind of a random type video. The first one was replacing a hitch on a pickup bed service trailer. I didn't get any pictures of the actual trailer itself, but it's just a pickup that someone had cut the bed off of, cut the frame down, and they had a service topper inserted in there, so they had their tools to repair the equipment on the farm, little service trailer made out of it. And unfortunately, I forgot to take pictures before I started the project, but here's the old hitch. Maybe you can see a little bit how bent up it is. The story my customer gave me is he was in a hurry, needed to move it out of his way, so he just hooked onto it with a chain with the loader tractor real quick instead of hooking it onto the pickup, and it got away from him and bent the heck out of the hitch. So it was not a time saver for him and didn't save him any money either. So yeah, shortcuts are not always good, right? So anyway, I cut off the old hitch, and then I cut the welds on the frame and actually slid the tubing that I used over a little bit of the tubing that was not bent. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Didn't get very good pictures of that, but that's what I did. And I just cut out a couple pieces of 1/2-inch plating to make the actual tongue where a pin drops through. He wanted it pin style instead of a ball. That way he could put it behind his tractor if he needed to. It just makes life a little bit easier for him. And, he just moves the thing within very close radius of his house, so it's not like it's going down the road. The rattle really doesn't bother him any, so quick, easy, get it done, right? So that was a fun little project. And on that project, I had this little creature supervising me the whole time. Friendly little bugger. I didn't pay attention to her. She'd headbutt me, make me rub her some more. Oh, she was alright. Another thing I've done recently is put some hard facing on some Reamers. And I don't really understand how these things work. The guy just brings these to me and I hard face them and I send them back. But it's my understanding that he drills apparently very large holes with an auger down into the ground. It's dirt augers. When you drill with an auger, a lot of times the auger shifts, it's not straight, not quite the exact right size either. So he has this little attachment that goes down there with these paddles and reams the hole he just drilled in the ground out to the correct size. And the one he brought me was used a little bit, and I'm kind of glad he brought that one because it allowed me to see how these things wear, what parts wear. They don't wear quite like I thought they did, actually. So that was kind of good, helped me figure out where to hard surface them at. So just spent a couple hours doing that job. That was pretty easy and fun. I heated them up real good with the torch, make sure I got all the water baked out of the metal. They don't need to be heat treated. It feels like pretty soft metal. I really think they're just cut out of 1-inch, 1018 or whatever, A36 probably. And then another project I've done recently is I put this gate inside a hopper on a grain bin for a customer. It's an upright grain bin with a funnel on the bottom that goes into the auger. And the problem was, when you're using the auger to load a grain truck, all that grain just sits in that auger and in that hopper, and it rots, it molds, it clumps up, it just gets nasty, it's gross. So he wanted some way to shut off the flow that's coming out of the grain bin. That way he can keep the auger running until all the grain is out of that hopper and the auger's not sitting in nasty grain. Well, guess what? I'm not showing you pictures or any footage of that project. I went to slide the video in over me talking, and I can't find that video anywhere on my computer. I even went through all of my cards I use for my cameras, the memory cards, could not find it on any of those either. Somehow, I've lost that footage. Don't know where it went. So instead, I will show you one that I did basically identical to it back in November 2017. I just never made a video of it because it was just a really short clip. So I just, didn't upload it. So I'll just show you that footage back in November 2017, and it was the exact same thing I did just now.
This is these big old grain bins that I put up a few years ago. Working on them again, doing a little adjustment because when the grain comes out of this funnel, goes up into this auger, there's no way to shut that off if you don't completely unload these things. So the grain stays in that auger and in this hopper, which is no good. So I took this hopper out. I put in another layer in here. With a gate here. And put in a bunch of holes. See that bolt there? That way you can adjust that gate to adjust your flow going into the unloading auger. So as you can see, it separates this chamber here from there. It's two chambers now. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. You can see it here. That's where it's now divided. This is one of those cheapo gates that you can buy at, your farm supply store, co-op, whatever. And they have this handle on them. It goes over center. And I took the handle off because you can't reach in there to run that handle because you'd be right over that auger and all that. It just wouldn't be a good place. And I used the handle, used all the parts from the handle to make this. That's what all the red parts are, is that strap iron from that handle. So you kind of see how I did it there. Now let's mount it in place. Back here just a little bit further and kind of show you an overall view of it.
Another project I worked on was I cut the rails off of my sheet metal skate that I built. That skate worked awesome in Grandpa's shop where I had the overhead chain hoist. Really, really enjoyed using it there. Really easy way to get sheet metal in and out of the shop, store it off to the side for a while, move it around, whatever. But I really needed the chain hoist in order to be effective at doing that. Here in my shop, it just doesn't work in here. I need every inch of floor space I can get. So I like having that sheet metal just up against the wall in here. So I went ahead and took the rails off. My plan is to make one rail down the middle. I'll put some stake pockets in the skate, and that way I can drop in one single rail right in the middle and just set like a sheet or a couple sheets or whatever on one side. That'll work really good in here, I think, doing it that way I can wheel stuff in and out the door, whatever I need to do, and then just set it over there against the wall out of my way the rest of the time. And I had the idea to hang the skate up on the wall here. I just put in a couple screws for right now, see if I like that idea. I really like that idea, so I'm going to get some hangers. That would be perfect to hang that skate on, so I'm going to get a couple more of those and just have it hang there permanently. And also being a flat skate like that, it's going to be really nice just for, wheeling other projects in and out of the shop too. Large shafts or I-beam or whatever, that I need to get in here and do some work on and roll back out. And I really don't know what my next video will be about. I've got a few ideas. I need to go back over my list. Some people wanted me to talk about the hydraulics that I use. I've had requests for the electric pump, my crane pump, and yeah, I think that was pretty much it. So I might try doing that here one of these days. Don't really know what to say about other than this is a pump. So I don't know, I gotta figure that one out. Maybe I'll just turn on the camera and start talking and see what comes out. But I guess I really should just say, if you have a suggestion for a video, let me hear it. I have a really long list inside, but I know I've also told some people I would make a video, and I haven't. I know there was some people that were asking questions about the MIG welder at one time, and I can't remember what they were asking. I didn't write it down apparently. So I don't know, I've had several questions. So if you have a question, put it down there in the comments. I don't know what to say other than we'll catch you in the next video, because there's always going to be another video, right? Well, until there's not. See y'all.